It's the Daily Dog.
Hello everybody, welcome back. It is now episode 4 of the Daily Dog. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about today. And, politics, I'm going to be talking about that soon. But I just didn't want to just inject that immediately into this series because it's just so toxic right now. And I just don't want to ruin this good start that I feel like we're on with this conversation. We've talked a little bit about who I am in the introduction and some meditation stuff that I've been working on in episode 2. In episode 3, we talked about my newest composition. It's called Love Is Not All. So check my my YouTube for all of those if you want to get caught up. I was trying to just get away from just the incessant toxic sludge that is the daily news today, and I found a YouTube video put out by our good friends at this little show called The Good Place. So, for those of you that haven't heard much about this show, it is a scripted comedy that was put out by NBC. A 30-minute comedy and on network television. And they've just recently finished their 4-year run of episodes. And I think it was last November at Thanksgiving. My sister-in-law, Allie, was with us at Thanksgiving, and as families do, we were gathered around the television or the dinner table, and we were talking about shows that we had been watching that we liked. And I remember Allie telling me, I think you'll really like this show, Doug. And I said, okay, let's give it a shot. And we by that point, the first 3 seasons of this show were on Netflix. And the commercials are gone. You just pop right through them, and they're quick and quirky and unbelievably funny and filled with pop culture references, and it's just profound. And it hooked me right from the beginning. This is a show that examines what happens to us after we die. It's a show about the afterlife, but it's from a point of view that isn't tied to any major religion or dogma that might influence what we're doing. It's almost like a philosophy textbook or a book on ethics or a book on philosophy, but instead of being a book, it's presented in this scripted comedic setting, and it's so smart in the way that it is written. There's so many great quotes and quips and realizations all throughout the series. I want to share a couple of them with you. In Season 4, Episode 6, Michael, played by Ted Danson, says, "What matters isn't if people are good or bad. What matters is if they're trying to be better today than they were yesterday. You ask me where my hope comes from, that's my answer." From the next to last episode, again, this is Michael, played by Ted, recalling a previous conversation that he had had with Eleanor. He says, "You said that every human is a little bit sad all the time because you know you're going to die, but that knowledge is what gives life meaning." One of the recurring elements in this show revolves around the existence of soulmates. And here in Season 4, Episode 9, Michael says to Chidi, "If soulmates do exist, they're not found, they're made." And finally, this is perhaps my favorite quote of the entire run of this series. This is in the very final episode, and Chidi is saying this to Eleanor. "And it focuses on the concept of death. And it's so profound. Chidi says, picture a wave in the ocean. You can see it, measure it, its height, the way the sunlight refracts when it passes through, and it's there. You can see it. You know what it is. It's a wave. And then it crashes on the shore and it's gone. But the water is still there. The wave was just a different way for the water to be for a little while. You know, since I have found this show, I think I've been through the entire series at least 3 complete times. And I just can't get enough of it. There are some episodes that have become my favorites that I keep coming back to. There is a literal mountain of related information and videos on YouTube that, you know, the actors have done interviews, and there's also a Good Place podcast that goes through and can be a companion for every single episode. That is just wonderful. There's other podcasts that members of the cast have been on and talked about the show as well. It's just a great series and so profound. And I promise you that if you give this show a chance, by the time you get to the end, it'll be well worth your time. And you'll probably have figured that out by the 2nd or 3rd episode. The writing is spectacular. The look of the show and the feel of the show is unique and new and fresh, and the actors are all just at the top of their game. I said at the beginning of this video that I was brought back to this show by a video that was just put out today by the Good Place's YouTube channel, and it is footage of the final table read where the actors and writers were in the room and they were reading the script of the very last episode of the show. And that's the one that I'm going to link to here in the here at the end of the video. I also want you to subscribe to my channel and keep coming back for the Daily Doug. I'm glad you're here. We're going to be bringing you more of these as we go. Until next time, this has been the Daily Doug.